In the vast northern lands of Sinnoh lies the ancient, glacial Lake Verity. The summit of Mt. Coronet pierces the sky, where life evolves in remarkable ways. Magma flows deep beneath, surging, shaping even the creatures of time itself. In this untamed wilderness, today, we will document these arcane species, one by one. Turtwig absorbs the gentle light of the forest. The shell, made of wet soil, sprouts fresh moss. Older now, Grottle carries a small garden on its back. The bushes shake gently, teeming with hidden life. The massive Torterra is like a living continent. An ancient tree rises from its hard, stone-like Harapachi. Small chinchor warm themselves on sunlit rocks. The flame on the tail flickers with every breath they take. Monferno balances on the edge of a cliff. Its tail flame burns steadily in the wind. The Infernape perches on the boulder. Heat radiates from its calm, focused posture, slowly rising. Tiplip stands apart on the icy shore. The falling snow condenses into ice around it. Prinplip stands proudly on the cracked floes, stepping firmly on the frozen row. Empoleon, the Emperor, faces the sea. Its wings of steel are honed like deadly martial weapons. A flock of starly cluster on the fence posts, their fluffy feathers withstanding the breeze. Staravia hover quietly over open fields, watching for movement in the grass below. Staraptor rests on a crooked branch, its keen eyes fixed on the distant horizon. Didoof works patiently on the river bank, gnawing on fallen wood to dull its teeth. Bibarrel sits on the edge of the dam. The water flows steadily past its solid frame. Cricketid clings to a long blade of grass, its antennae vibrating with a gentle rhythm. Cricketoon stands amidst the reeds, arms crossed, as if ready to conduct a symphony. A Shinx hides in the bushes, small sparks gathering between its claws. Luxio remains vigilant, rising with a faint electric charge. Luxray observes from the tree shadows, eyes twinkling with the power to see through walls. Voodoo rests in the morning dew, its unopened buds covered with tiny droplets. Roselia stands gracefully among the flowers, fragrant petals hiding its thorny hands. Cranidos inspects the stone wall, its thick skull tapping gently on ancient rocks. Rampardos hunts in the fossil field. Even now, it bears countless collision scars on its head. Shieldon takes cover under the cliff's edge, rubbing its shield-like face against the rock. Bastiodon forms a motionless wall with the pack. Their faces arrange in an insurmountable defense. Burmy hangs by a silk thread. Is made from materials found in the environment. Wormadam blends in with her surroundings. Cloaked with leaves, sand, or insulation to adapt. Mothim rests on a tree trunk, yellow and gray. His wing pattern disappears against the rough bark. Three combi buzz around the blooming flowers. Three faces sharing a simple goal. They speak when hovers over the hive. The hexagonal honeycomb behind her shimmering. Tashirisu perches on a branch. Its fluffy tail wraps around its body like a warm blanket. Buizel floats face down, balanced in the water, rotating its tails like a propeller. Floatzel dives near its home. The twin flotation sacs always ready for rescue. Cherubi clings to the branches. Its petite second fruit, leaning over like a sleeping twin. Cherrim blooms under the strong sunlight. Petals spreading happily to the sky. Shello stays moist on the wet rocks. Slowly, its soft body lifts up. Gastrodon lives in the silt-heavy waters. Its mottled skin shows Sinnoh Region. The two-tailed ambipom lies leisurely on branches, using its tails to play casually. Dryfloon swings by the old roadside, its string swaying gently in the wind. Driftbloom hovers in a distant field at twilight, shaped like a cloud drifting aimlessly. Dunieri curls up into a ball, ears tightly wrapped around its fluffy body. Lopunny stands gracefully in the glade, long ears draped like a soft cape. Mismagius floats above the ruins. Its voice is a faint whisper in the cold air. Honchcrow watches from the rooftops, feathers as dark as night in the moonlight. Glamio sits on the fence, when grooming. Its tail curls into a perfect spiral. Turigly confidently lies at the door, unmoved by the footsteps of passersby. Chingling hangs from the old beam. The little body sways with a crystal-clear sound. Stunky stands sideways, tail raised high as a pungent warning. Skuntank guards the edge of its territory, striped fur bristling against a silent threat. Bronzer is half buried in the soil, its metal surface reflecting the twisted sky. Bronzon is placed on a forgotten hill. its hollow body lets out a faint echo. Donsley stands motionless among the rocks. Teardrop-like eyes suggest hidden emotions. Mime Jr. practices pantomime alone. Invisible walls are formed in his dance. Little Happiny hugs her precious oval stone, treating it as a fragile treasure. Chattet perches on the handrail, turning its head to memorize every sound nearby. Spiritum is sealed in a crack-out keystone. Ghostly faces swirling in the fog. Gibel lurks in the small cave, a jag-jaw popping out of the rubble. Gabbid rages, guarding its heap of gems. Polished stones neatly stacked near the nest. Garchomp lies half-buried in the warm sand. A fierce dragon hidden in the dunes. Munchlax sits under the roots of a tree. Food crumbs scattered around its feet. Riolu meditates alone at sunrise. Clenched paws feeling the aura in the distance. Lucario stands motionless at the ancient altar, chest shining with inner energy. Hippopotas is partially submerged in sand, nostrils tight to keep the grains out. Hippodon exhales a cloud of dust, sand slowly spilling from its heavy jaw. Skorupi hides among the hunting stones. Though small, it is always ready to attack. Drapion rests under a dark rock formation, armor plates overlapping like a living tank. Krogunk sits by the muddy water, poison sacs pulsing in its cheeks. The poison sac on its throat bulges rhythmically. Toxicroak rests against the damp rock wall, its poisonous knuckle claws pressed lazily against its chest. Carnivine hangs from a low branch, mouth gaping open, waiting patiently for prey. Finian glides through the water, soft fins catching diamond-shaped beams of light. Luminian patrols the vertical rock walls, glowing patterns outlining its path in the deep sea. Little Mantike swims near the ocean floor, following trustingly behind the giant shadow of its parent. Snover is rooted in the deep drifts, its evergreen top covered with fresh white powder. Abimasno, the frost tree, towers over the forest. Every step it takes leaves a deep crater in the snow. Weavile stalks along an icy ledge, leaving claw marks on the cave walls to mark territory. Charged with power, Magnezoni hovers quietly on the magnetic hills, its magnets rotating with mechanized precision. Lickilicky uses its long tongue to clean the surroundings, leaving a smooth, saliva-covered surface. Rhyperior stands firmly on the unstable cliff, its drill-like horn pointing threateningly into the distance. Tangrowth hides in the deep bushes, its tangled vines swaying gently with the breeze. Electivire grips the electric pole, its two tails rattling with stored high-voltage current. Magmortar sits by the magma pool, the ends of its arm cannons glowing from the fire inside. Togekiss glides peacefully over the fields, wings leaving soft trails in the air. Yanmega, the ancient giant, hovers over the wetlands, repeatedly scanning every ripple below. Leafeon rests in a sunbeam, leaf-like fur rustling as it performs photosynthesis. Glaceon lies on a shiny bed of snow, its icy fur refracting the scattered light. Gliscor hangs upside down on the ledge, wings wrapped tightly around its body like a cape. Mamoswine walks through the deep tundra. It is an ancient memory frozen in ivory, now restored. Porygonzy glitches in the air, body parts rotating at disturbing angles from disjointed software. Gallade kneels quietly on guard, blade arms folded respectfully by its side. Probopus attaches to the cliff face, tiny magnetic units orbiting around its magnetic body. Dusknoir hovers at the mouth of the cave, its single eye glowing steadily in the dark. Frostlass waits in the depths of the blizzard, her kimono-like form surrounded by hanging icicles. Rotom flashes inside an old motor, a mischievous face fleeting in the glass reflection. Oxy keeps its eyes closed, exuding quiet wisdom and knowledge. Maespree floats over the lake's surface, sensing the emotions in every ripple. Azelf swims at the underwater ruins, tail lightly curled, observing with pure willpower. Dialga stands in the gleaming crystal cave, its metal body echoing with the slow flow of time. Palkia emerges from twisted space near the waterfall, its presence warping the surrounding air. Keytron clings to the ceiling of the magma chamber, melting the rock slightly with the tips of its claws. Regigigas kneels in front of the ancient stone pillars, moss covering the body that pulled continents. Giratina circles in the distorted landscape, black wings cutting across the broken sky. Cresselia flies over the sleeping village, star and moon wings, leaving traces as soft as moonlight. Fawn drifts in the warm current, its small body easily lifted by the sea. Manaphy frolics among the corals, jewel-like markings glowing under the waves. Darkrai stands on the edge of the shadows, a silhouette twinkling in the dim starlight. Shaman curls up in the flower patch, the surrounding petals blooming brighter with gratitude. Arceus hovers above the Hall of Origin, the original one, And so, we leave this land behind us. However, a new region is calling. A land of truth and ideals awaits. See you on our next adventure.